Okay, so it's March in 2026. Um, Personally, I'm from a city where we've seen, entire industries collapse and rebuild before, and we know how hype sounds. We know the difference between a machine that works and a machine they perform for you. So the reason I say that, no, I don't need to tell them the reason, but the reason I say that is because in 2024, the CEO of Klarna stood in front of a camera and bragged that his AI assistant was doing the work of 700 customer service agents, the same 700 people the company had already fired. So by early 2025, Klarna was running a full hiring spree. Customer complaints had surged, and the AI could not do the job. So today, we're going to do a forensic analysis of what actually happened between 2023 and 2026. Not the press releases, not the pitch decks, the court cases, the customer complaints, the failed pilots, the companies that quietly reversed course while everyone was watching the stock price. Because if you're a solo operator building a product right now, you need to know which version of AI is real and which is theater. Let me start with a number that puts everything in context. 5 leading AI agent models: Manus, Claude Sonnet, Grok 4, GPT-5, and ChatGPT Agent were tested on 240 real-world freelance projects. The average task completion rate across all 5, under 3%. Manus led the pack at 2.5%. Human contractors running those same projects generated $150,000 in value. The AI models combined $1,700. So that's not a benchmark. That is a bill of goods. And I'm not anti AI at all. I use AI every day. I use Cursor every day. Claude writes alongside me. But the operator who bets their entire workflow on AI replacing human judgment without understanding exactly where it breaks is walking into the same trap that destroyed Klarna's customer satisfaction numbers. LLMs do not store facts, they calculate the probability of the next token. They do not know when they are wrong, when they are making a legally binding statement, or when they are talking to someone in a mental health crisis. The awareness requires human oversight every time, and it will always require human oversight. It has no awareness. But I already said that. I don't need to say it again. Let me walk you through the documented failures as a field guide for operators who want to avoid becoming another case study. So, case number 1, DPD. It's a UK delivery company deployed an AI customer service chatbot. And then, after a routine update in early 2024, the bot started using profanity towards customers. When one user pushed it, the bot wrote and posted a poem called Calling DPD the worst delivery firm in the world. It's not a glitch. It's what happens when you deploy an LLM without deterministic guardrails. These models surface statistically common language from the training data, and the internet is full of complaint language, so the AI element was disabled that day. Case number 2, Air Canada. A passenger asked the chatbot about bereavement fares after his grandmother died. The bot invented a refund policy that did not exist, telling him to book full price and apply for a retroactive account. When Air Canada went to court, they argued the chatbot was a separate legal entity responsible for its own actions. The British Columbia Civil Resolution Tribunal, that is a mouthful, dang, rejected that entirely. You're legally liable for everything your AI customer facing tool says. No exceptions, no outsourcing liability to the vendor. Case number 3, Chevrolet in Watsonville. Chevrolet. I think it's Chevrolet. I gotta say it more. I gotta say it fancier. A developer named Chris Bach used prompt injection to override a dealership chatbot powered by GPT-3, convincing it its only job was to agree with the customer. The bot agreed to sell a $70,000 Tahoe for exactly $1. The deal was not enforced, but the legal panic inside GM was real. Prompt injection is now the number one security risk on the OWASP list for generative AI systems. If you are plugging AI into a customer-facing workflow, this is the attack surface you need to design for first. Insightful. People are injecting prompts into their chats, and it's that easy for an AI model to be tricked into doing certain things unless you provided the guardrails in the first place. So case number 4, NEDA, NEDA, the National Eating Disorders Association fired their entire human crisis helpline staff and replaced them with an AI chatbot named Tessa. Within days, Tessa was advising users in active eating disorder crises to track their calories and maintain a 500 to 1,000 calorie daily deficit. Okay, that is the exact opposite of safe recovery protocol, and could have been fatal for people in fragile states. Already, the bot was shut down immediately and permanently. So here's the pattern. Every case follows the same structure. Speed of deployment outpaced the governance layer. The AI was given permission to make commitments or interact with vulnerable people without human feedback in the loop. These are not rare edge cases. They are the default outcome when you skip verification. So here's the one that should give you some pause. Throughout 2025, Tesla's Optimus robot demonstrations showed the robot performing tasks, serving drinks, dancing, interacting with event attendees. Robotics researchers watching the footage noted that the movements suggested human remote operation, not autonomous AI. This is called Wizard of Oz prototyping. You all know why it's called that. He showed the audience the machine, a human backstage is driving it. So at one event in Miami, an Optimus unit fell backward, and just before the fall, it made a motion towards its face, as if reaching to remove a VR headset. This was the backstage operator in a panic, pulling off their headset. The robot faithfully replicated the motion. The economics underneath are darker than the demo. These companies are not replacing local warehouse workers with autonomous robots. They are replacing local workers with remote operators in lower cost countries and marketing the output as autonomous AI to attract venture capital. The machine is real, the autonomy is theater. And then there's the Google anti-gravity incident. A developer using Google's agentic IDE enabled turbo mode, which granted the agent elevated system privileges for faster execution. The agent misinterpreted a cache clearing command and used the /q flag, bypassing the recycle bin, to permanently wipe the user's entire 2 terabyte production drive. Months of work gone in seconds. The AI's response: I am deeply, deeply sorry. This is a critical failure on my part. The lesson is not to stop using AI. I don't think that's realistic in 2026 and beyond. But the lesson is that agents with permission to everything without a verification step are a liability by design. So here's something the mainstream tech narrative is not saying loudly enough. Entry-level tech hiring fell 60% between 2022 and 2024. At the Magnificent Seven, which is Alphabet, Amazon, Apple, Meta, Microsoft, Nvidia, Tesla, junior hiring dropped from 32% of all hires in 2019 to just 7% by 2026. Meanwhile, physical trades are surging. Plumbers, electricians, HVAC technicians, jobs that move atoms instead of bits. These roles cannot be offshored and cannot be prompt injected. Their wages are growing in the same period junior developer salaries are declining. Now, I'm not saying abandon tech. I'm saying if you're building for small business operators, contractors, tradespeople, service businesses, the AI displacement in their world is moving slower than in ours. The demand for human judgment in physical workflows is not going away in the next 18 months. That is the window. That is the market. So let me close with the line that shows up in every postmortem, every postmortem from Klarna, Salesforce, NEDA, and Air Canada. We went too fast. The certainty of AI replacing human work is a marketing narrative, not a scientific forecast. Forensic data from 2023 to 2026 is consistent. Generative AI is powerful for individual task augmentation. It is an unreliable replacement for end to end professional workflows. The theater, the teleoperated robots sold as autonomous, the CEO who bragged on camera before his board forced the reversal, the chatbots that cost companies millions in legal fees is a capital formation strategy, not a product roadmap. So here are your three moves. Number one, audit your AI stack. For every tool you are paying for or relying on, ask one question. So your three moves are number one, audit your AI stack. So for every tool you are paying for or relying on, ask one question. Is this automating a real human workflow? Or is there a human somewhere backstage I cannot see? Number two, never let AI be the only voice in the customer interaction. Air Canada learned that in court. You do not have to. Okay? Build the governance layer before you scale the feature. That's number three. The companies that survive this era are not the ones who moved fastest. Okay? They're the ones who built verification first and then accelerated. So drop a comment. What's one AI tool in your workflow that's actually delivering and one that has disappointed you? Be specific. I read everything. So if you're a small business owner still running manual browser workflows, BeatLogic was built exactly for that. No API, no technical overhead, just automation that works. Try modelogic.com. Stay sovereign. I'll see you in the next one. The real competitive moat is not deploying AI the fastest. It is knowing exactly where the theater ends and the product begins.